So yeah, quick background on myself. I'm the founder at Hyperbrew. We build custom Adobe plugins for video teams to help them work smarter. My personal background is in motion design and editorial, and over time got more into the programming and development space, helping artists work faster and more efficiently. But through our journeys, we also maintain a number of open source projects for the development community as well. So most of our work is focused on custom plugins. So that's a lot of video teams at large companies, small companies, internal teams coming to us for custom solutions, custom pipeline tools. So that's the majority of our work. But over time, we also have times where there's cross pollination with open source projects, which we love to contribute to as well. So as you guys all know, the first time after you built like your 10th or 100th plugin, you want to start improving your own processes, right? And so that's something that we did after building the same CEP extensions over and over again, refining our process. We wanted a better way, and so that is when we finally built our system into a framework called Bolt CEP. And we were excited after years of refinement to release this to the public, and so this can be publicly available, and everybody can help use it, contribute to it, all that great stuff. So let's jump in and talk about what Bolt CEP is and how it can help you. So what is Bolt CEP? So Bolt CEP is a lightning fast boilerplate for building Adobe CEP extensions in Svelte, React, or Vue, built on TypeScript, Vite, and Sass. And if you don't know what all those words mean, that's totally okay. I'll show you some kind of practical use cases and examples. But as you can see here on the right, it's a simple CLI starter. So you can use yarn create Bolt CEP in the terminal, and then it's going to just take you through a few prompts, what you want your extension's name to be, what apps you want to support, what framework you want. And then it's going to scaffold a whole plugin ready for you to start developing with, which is really great. So frameworks, again, we support the most commonly available ones today: Svelte, React, and Vue. Our personal favorite is Svelte. But we have a little something in there for everybody as well. If you're a vanilla person, you can use the template. You just delete the template files after scaffolding a new project. But most people like frameworks these days for rapid development. And we support pretty much any Adobe CEP apps. So that includes Premiere Pro, After Effects, Audition, Animate, Media Encoder, Illustrator, Photoshop, InDesign, Bridge. Try to cover as many as possible and provide IntelliSense and easy plug and play when you're developing for one panel for multiple apps, or just siloed panels for each additional app. And full type stages. This is a big thing for us. So we package Bolt CEP comes with TypeScript definitions for the JavaScript layer, the extend script layer, and the TypeScript manifest configuration as well. So that way, no matter which part of the development process you're in, because the stack for CEP is a little bit complicated, right? But we try to make that as simple and safe as possible. So that way you know what to expect wherever it is that you're at in the development process. And we also have type safe communications between the JavaScript and extend script layers. So you're writing something in your user interface, and you need to make a call to change some layers or move some artboards around. Those communications can be a little bit, fragile or tedious, but with type-safe communications between JavaScript and ExtendScript, now we know what to expect on both sides. Another huge thing for Bolt CEP comes with is instant hot reloading. So this is just a really fast way to work. It's basically, every time you hit save as you're editing a file, the panel is going to instantly update. This is powered by HMR, technically called Hot Module Replacement. VJS is the bundler that we picked, which we love. If you're familiar with Webpack or Parcel or Rollup, those are a bunch of other good bundlers. We tried out a bunch, and Vite has been our favorite. It's just been fantastically fast and really easy to plug in with. So as you can see in this example, we're making some changes to a button on the right side. The changes are being updated in real time. So it's just a really fast way to prototype and develop your tool. And optimized build size is a big one as well. So Vite uses rollup when it comes to build time. And so that ensures that you're only going to be shipping the code that you need. So if you have a project that's like 100 megabytes, for instance, you can get that down to a few kilobytes when you're going to deliver, depending on what you're actually shipping. So no need to package all the unnecessary code or functions that you're not actually using from node modules. Just what you actually need is going to get shipped. And then we have easy ZXP and zip packaging as well. So when it comes time to ship, all you have to do in the terminal is run yarn ZXP, and it's going to go ahead and build and sign your ZXP for you. And then we also have the option for yarn zip, And if you run that, you can package the ZXP along with any sidecar assets like PDFs or links or any kind of like helper documentation that's not a part of the plugin itself or the extension itself, but just going to sit next to it. That's an easy way to ship those as well when you're going to deliver to your clients or your customers. So those are some of the highlights of the features. So once we released Bolt CEP 2 years ago, it had it slowly gained more popularity, and now it's being used by a ton of large companies, including people at Adobe, which is really cool to see. But we've also had an awesome, a number of developers using Bolt CEP in their projects. And so we have a whole page dedicated on our website called Built with Bolt CEP. And as you can see, we have some really great tools. Obviously, we use it on our own tools as well. But it's been great to see people use it in their tools. And we've also had some fantastic contributions as well. Some people coming in being like, hey, Bolt CEP is great, but what if it also did this? And, some people have even put together PRs and we've merged them in, which has been fantastic. So it's cool to see once, you take this project to open source. Now everyone can see it, everyone can use it, and then everyone can contribute and make it better for the community, which has been fantastic. So that is Bolt CEP. Now what's next? So we saw, UXP was on the horizon. We'd heard Adobe's transitioning everything from CEP to UXP. And so we kind of started hypothesizing, what a Bolt UXP could potentially look like. But of course, Bolt CEP was a mammoth project that took us so long to construct and refine and everything. And there's so many, intricacies that everything needs to be just right for a CEP panel, to function properly and all that stuff. And then there's a whole new set of requirements for UXP to then work in the same kind of way. So we looked at what that was going to be. It was going to take some time, but we had an awesome way to get this to production. We had a client project with AE Scripts that they wanted us to build a UXP framework for their UXP plugins hosted on their site. And so after some discussion with Lloyd, he was really excited to fund Bolt UXP and then have the AE Scripts licensing framework as a wrapper around that, which was fantastic. So that basically allowed us to jumpstart Bolt UXP and get that out to the public. So a couple months ago, we were able to publicly release Bolt UXP with AE Scripts as one of the founding backers, which was fantastic. And now it's available to the whole public, so you can go and use it today. So let's jump into Bolt UXP now and talk a little bit about what that is. So some of the stuff's going to be similar to what we just talked about with Bolt CEP, but there's definitely some differences, some added things that are very UXP specific. So what is Bolt UXP? Bolt UXP is a lightning fast boilerplate for building Adobe UXP plugins in Svelte Reactor Vue, built on Vite, TypeScript, and Sass. Again, everything is fully TypeScript. So, we have type definitions for Photoshop, for the UXP APIs, and type-safe manifest configuration settings. One nice thing about UXP, if you transition from CEP to UXP, there's no more ExtendScript and JavaScript layers. It's all one JavaScript space. So no need for those kind of type-safe communications back and forth. It's all in one layer, which is an added benefit. But still, we have types with Photoshop, types with UXP. Eventually, going to have types for InDesign and Premiere Pro when that comes out as well. We'll be integrating. But then also the manifest, and that's something that you want to make sure that you're setting all the correct settings in the manifest. We have type safety around that as well. Like Bolt CEP, you can pick your favorite framework. Svelte Reactor Vue templates are supported. And then the apps. So right now, UXP is publicly available in Photoshop and InDesign. And now, if you were listening earlier today, it's sounding like Premiere Pro is coming pretty soon, and early access is available to these people in the group, which is exciting. So also there's an option to enable beta apps as well. Of course, you will need beta access from the individual apps, so that's something you have to talk to Adobe people about. But primarily the focus is on the released apps, and those are Photoshop and InDesign. Again, instant hot reloading. So Bolt UXP comes with lightning fast hot reloading. So this isn't quite HMR like we had in Bolt CEP because UXP is not a browser. It's a JavaScript layer with that interprets to native components. But we can still get pretty fast hot reloading powered by Vue.js, which is a lot faster than the file watching system with UDT. So as you can see on the left here, we're making some changes to buttons and moving them around. And then it's just live updating on the right side. So we can rapidly prototype that way. And then a specific thing to UXP is they have this unique ability to do hybrid plugins. And so what that means is that you can have C++ code or modules that either do like lower level functions or access like the command line or other things that you just don't have an API method for in UXP. The C++ hybrid plugin can unlock a lot of those capabilities. So, and this is not easy to set up. even if you're used to building C++ plugins, there's a lot of things that need to be just in the right place. The binaries have to be built the specific way for the specific platforms, signed, all that kind of stuff. So we just wanted to make that process as easy as possible for the developers. So we Bolt UXP, if you enable it, has a C++ hybrid option that you can turn on. And if you do, then it's going to provide you with project files for Xcode and VS Code, Visual Studio, as well as scripts to build and sign and notarize for Mac and PC, which is something you need to do. And then also, if you're just not interested in doing hybrid plugins, you can turn it off. But if you want, you can actually leave it in, and we ship Bolt UXP with pre-signed binaries with some sample functions to access the CLI and a few other things. So you can use that in your project. Even if you don't want to touch the C++ code, it's ready to go just for those example functions as well. But if you want to dive in deeper, that will help you get started. And then lastly, optimize build size. Again, this is a big one, right? We're only shipping the code you actually need so that you have the fastest uploads and downloads. And then like we had Yarn ZXP, we have Yarn CCX for UXP, which is the equivalent there. And so that's just packaging up your panel. The difference is CCX has to be split off for each app. So if you have an app that's going to Photoshop and InDesign, those need to be separate CCXs. That's all handled. And you can do the zip option, packaging with sidecar assets, PDFs, links, what have you. And that can kind of save you some time there as well. Yeah, so Bolt UXP and Bolt CEP are both totally free and open source, available for you to get started today. Head over to the hyperbrew.co Bolt UXP page, or you can start in your terminal with Yarn Create Bolt UXP. Same thing with Bolt CEP. Those are both publicly available. And we also have a Discord with a bunch of Bolt devs in there answering questions. So feel free to jump in, share your thoughts. If you have any questions, happy to help you get started. So yeah, thank you.